My beautiful friends, welcome back everyone. It's so good to be in the studio with you. It's very weird to chat with you through the voiceover. I usually don't do it. I chat with you while I make project, but recently it has been very busy and it was just much easier for me to make a project without chats, and I figured I'm gonna do the voiceover. I haven't done it for a while, so why not? As you can tell, we glued 2 pages together. I'm gonna show you an amazing background, by the way. You have to check it out. I glued 2 pages together. I covered it with the white gesso at first, and then I'm adding clear gesso and started adding also rice paper. There was no plan for this project, to be very honest. I didn't know what I'm doing. I was just playing with the leftovers that I had on my desk, which was a bit of rice paper and a little bit of paper with flowers. I had no plan for this page. The only thing is I wanted to have a little bit of fun, and for a change, I just wanted to do it in my own time, in my own space, without actually chatting as well. I don't do it at all, and sometimes I think I'm taking away from myself a little bit of kind of quietness, sanity, thinking and all, and this was that exact project. I figured I'm gonna just come to the studio and just play, and we'll see what's going to happen with the project, which direction it will take. I'm filling basically my background, as I have mentioned, with the things that were in my studio on the desk that I recently used, and those were just the exact elements. The rice papers and now the paper. Rice papers I adhered, as you could see, with the clear gesso, while this is just a collage paper that it's fine perfectly when you use just a regular Pritt stick. And the other side as well, I thought, yes, let's just fill it in. I love the idea that I'm going to show with this background because I think it's going to work for so many different projects, and it's such a great, I think, technique. I don't think it's a new technique at all, but maybe in collaging it is. To be honest, I figured it out myself while making the project. I just, you will see it in a minute, I was just confused what to do next, and I purposely didn't edit out the parts when I was like, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do next? And I was really lost, to be honest. And I hope to show you this process of being lost, because we are lost sometimes from time to time, even like now when I was like, where I'm gonna add it, where it's going to be placed and stuff like that. But with this particular technique and project and idea for a background, guys, whatever you're gonna glue it down, it's going to be perfectly fine. I tell you even more, you can glue down as random elements as possible, anything really. I focused my background on the flowers for whatever reason. Maybe I just had so many flowers around me and that's what I choose. And also color scheme, you can see that this is a little bit of a pastel-y kind of bluey, pinky, a little bit of beigey, and that was my idea, because even back then I still had no clue what's the next step. I encourage you to grab the leftovers, because this technique will work for every single idea that you have, for every single bits and pieces of the papers that you will have. That's no problem. Trust me, trust the process. Now, still to that moment, I didn't know what I'm doing next, so I did cover everything with the layer of clear gesso. It's like a primer. If you want to color stuff, if you want to do shading, if you want to do doodling, it will be a great way to get your page ready for the next steps, whatever that is. And if you don't know, that's even better, because it's like a preparation. It's like a good start. Now, the next thing that I decided to go, okay, let's just unify the edges. Let's just make happy family all of my bits and pieces. So where you see that the papers weren't touching each other, or they had like those edges, this is where my paint went with my finger. This is where I was adding my favorite dentelle color from Cadence. It's this kind of beigey color. It does change after drying, so it's very interesting to watch, but it's a beautiful acrylic, and acrylic in that kind of beigey muted color, it would work. So whatever you have, it's perfectly fine. I encourage you to use what you have, the acrylic that you have in this kind of beige natural tone that will tone everything down and just help it out to blend in basically together. So this was my idea number 1 for this project, which will be changed, but I purposely left it. There you go. I'm trying to add it, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't know where this is going, but I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna focus on the next element and see what this will give me. And I just could see that this is just not working. You can't, well, you can have anything, but it felt for me, you can't have busy things on top of busy things. So there you go. When my background is so busy, I was like, how can I have it busy something, as in colorful and all? And then I switched my idea. I thought that maybe she will be together with that flower or something. But then I was like, oh, maybe she will be on her own because she's big enough. So I added her on the piece of paper. When it was dry, I decided to fussy cut her, and that moment, I didn't know what I'm doing, whether this is going to be good or not. A little trick, a little tip for your fussy cutting. So you're fussy cutting here normally as nothing, and then the shoes. Look, I cut in between the shoes. I just cut it out through the shoes. So it's much easier to cut things in between the legs. Just a little tip, when the shoes are together, you can easily cut them, because when you glue it down, it will be not visible, noticeable at all. Of course, you could cut out that stem. That's no problem as well, because you could draw that little stem. But in case in between the shoes and legs, if it's difficult because it's a small space, you can cut it through in between, and really, really great trick, as you can tell, I hope. I love this little fairy. It's from the very first book that I published, Fairies Volume 1. I love it. So here is again me checking it out. Checking and checking and checking, busy on busy, and I wasn't still sure that it's going to match. And this is when the idea sparked. How about I'm gonna make my background less busy? White gesso diluted with some touch of water. I thought I'm gonna chance it out, and I think maybe because I was on my own without chatting to you back then, I was just courageous as well. I would still post the video, but maybe I just had this chance to discover that little tip, and I think it worked phenomenal. I think I love it so much. No, not that I think I love it so much. I adored it. I love it even now, after a few weeks looking at this project, because I recorded it, a few weeks ago, because we are going away and I'm trying to record ahead and now record a voiceover. Back then I loved it, and now I'm looking at it now a few weeks later and I'm thinking this is genius, and I will be using this amazing background technique in the future, because it will work for every image. It will be like on the background. It's like the background is on the background. And look, I left this little piece for you to see the difference between the whiten kind of element and the regular paper. So it's a really toned down background, and it's still visible. You can still see it, but it feels that it's much more connected with each other. It's blended. I think it works much nicer. A little bit of stamping touches in white. I love stamping in white. It's just something I just love. Not always works, or not always is looking as I wish, but I do love stamping in white. And I thought that this is such a dreamy page as well, such a dreamy background that is just working. And hot glue gun on top, on the bottom, no, on the back of my fairy, because she's going to be a little bit 3D. You don't have to have her on the special paper on the back. You could just directly glue her down because the page is flat, but I just wanted her to be a little stand out. Look at it, very pretty. I think she is adorable. She's doty, love her so very much. And there she is, gorgeous little queen. And also we have some tiny title. I think it's so adorable. And then lastly, splashes. You can see the white splashes very well, but later on I will be adding all these kind of pastel colors from the Watercolour Kuretake, the pastel set. And you can't see it on the video really that much, but I choose the pinky, the blue, all these toned colors. And from close, which I forgot to attach the close on the page, it's just so gorgeous. It just matches so nice. I hope you like this one, enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.